I have a collection of old vinyl albums, LPs, and I have a USB capture box to digitize them, and have been ripping a few of those to MP3 files, time permitting. I used to use my old laptop, but it's quite slow and needed to be far away from the media system, so it needed long cables, USB hubs, etc. When I built the media PC, it lived right next to the turntable and the AV receiver. So perfect, I thought, to connect that up. So I need to control the USB ripper from an application on the PC. So that's all fine and dandy until I go to the AV receiver. You see it's on video 1 right now. I'll select phono. And so I've got the, I don't know if you can hear it on the microphone or not. Anyway, I've got the phono on, and there's the monitor. So the receiver is smart enough to know that the phonograph is only audio. So there are no video selections available, and the TV screen goes blank when the LP plays. So I'll switch here to the PC input, and now I've got the PC display back up. After switching, now the AV receiver is sending phono audio out through the amplifier and to the speakers, and the PC is sending its display out through the VGA output to the TV, and the audio capture box is capturing the line out from the AV receiver, and everything's working fine. So I had never even considered that would be an issue when I moved from the laptop to the media PC, but it was nearly a showstopper. And to set this up, what you want to use is the screen resolution. Right click and screen resolution. Shows 2 displays, the 2 video connections. You need to have them the same resolution, same orientation, and then to get this effect you need to duplicate these displays. So that's that option. So on a media PC, you'll be using web browsers, possibly with plugins to access your various media sources. And I recommend you experiment with a few web browsers to see which works the best with the media you are viewing, but don't stick with that one forever. I'd found in the past Firefox with the Flash plugin was slower than Chrome with the built-in Flash, but then the plugin was improved and now Firefox is faster. But this changes with every few releases, so periodically try different browsers and see if there's a change, especially if you have a slower CPU like I do. Now Google Chrome is the only browser that works with YouTube TV. Over here gives you a 10-foot user interface, and you can use your remote. I'm using just a Media Center extender remote here. Chrome is the only one that supports that feature, and YouTube TV, your PC, look like a smart TV to YouTube. This way you don't need a Roku box or any of those other media plugins. You've got your PC, so you use Chrome. And then one thing you can do is tabs in your browser with all the different content you stream. So I have, for instance, MeTV, I have my Eurosport player, I can have YouTube TV, I can go to my in-house media server and access live TV here if I want. But anyway, that's setting up your tabs for Google Chrome. Just as an example, Firefox works fine. And then another interesting web browser is called Kylo. This is a web browser that is designed for 10-foot user interface, so you can sit on your couch, and then you can also integrate this into Windows Media Center, so you don't need to leave Media Center to get to this. You need an accurate clock on your PC if you're recording TV programs, so use a good network time server. Your date and time, go over here to Internet Time, change, and what you want to do is avoid using the default server, which is time.windows.com. I find it's off, and that throws off TV recording schedules. So I only use the time.nist.gov now, and it works much better. I mainly use Windows Media Center for recording. You need to realize that scheduled recordings start off the time listed in the Electronic Program Guide, or EPG, so that time and your Media PC's time need to be in sync. And I find that some local broadcasters are either a few minutes fast or slow on their schedules, so this is different than cable or satellite. There's not one master clock at the cable company switching programming exactly on time. You'll have dozens of local broadcasters all doing their own thing. So you may need to experiment with your local broadcasters and see what settings work for you. So in Windows Media Center, if you go to Tasks, Settings, TV, and then Recorder, and then you want Recording Defaults. And what I find works well is if I start recordings 3 minutes before and 3 minutes after, I usually catch the whole program. But you may need to experiment with this on with your local broadcasters to see how that works for you. So this will conclude this video episode on setting up your Media PC. In the next segment, I'll cover some issues you might experience when streaming media over the network. So stay tuned for that video, and in the meantime, subscribe to the channel for updates. If you have any suggestions to add or topics you'd like to see me cover, use the comments section below. As always, thanks for watching.